Still water. Floating lilies, colors bleeding into each other like dreams. No sky, no horizon, no beginning, no end. Just reflection, just light. This is Claude Monet's Water Lilies. Peaceful, serene, eternal. But beneath the surface of these tranquil ponds lies something deeper. This is not just a garden, not just a painting, not even just a series. This is the last breath of an old world, captured by a man slowly going blind, painting in the shadow of war. Today, we look at how Monet's water lilies were not just a celebration of nature, but a farewell to it, a meditation on light, a struggle with vision, a monument to beauty in a collapsing world. This is the hidden story behind the water lilies. Claude Monet settled in Giverny, France in 1883. There, he cultivated a garden that would become his sanctuary, laboratory, and muse. He was not just a painter of flowers. He was their architect. He diverted a river to create his famous pond. He imported exotic lilies from around the world. He designed every curve, every bloom with intention. But he didn't want to recreate nature. He wanted to reinvent it. He said, "My garden is my most beautiful masterpiece." And it would become the lens through which he saw everything. Monet is often called the father of Impressionism. But what does that really mean? Impressionism wasn't about precise lines or detailed forms. It was about perception. It was about capturing a fleeting moment, the way light hits a leaf, or how a color changes with the hour. In his earlier works, like Impression, Sunrise, or Rouen Cathedral, Monet painted the same subject repeatedly under different lighting conditions. It wasn't repetition, it was revelation. And by the time he reached the water lilies, his obsession with light had deepened. He wasn't painting objects, he was painting experience. Monet painted over 250 versions of water lilies from the 1890s until his death in 1926. Each one is different. Some are small and intimate. Others are vast, stretching meters wide. Some are luminous. Others stormy. Some are filled with color. Others dissolve into mist. They are not a series in the traditional sense. They are variations on a meditation. The pond is always the same, but Monet's gaze is not. In the early 1910s, Monet began to lose his sight. He was diagnosed with cataracts, which blurred his vision, distorted color, and clouded light. He refused surgery at first. Instead, he kept painting. He adapted. He worked from memory, from feeling, from habit. The brushstrokes became broader, the colors darker, sometimes more intense. He said, "I can no longer see the blue, but I know it is there." And perhaps that's what makes the water lilies so moving. They are not just what he saw. They are what he remembered, what he hoped to still see, what he refused to forget. As Monet painted his tranquil pond, the world around him erupted. World War I broke out in 1914. His son and stepson went to the front. His country was torn apart. Monet stayed in Giverny, isolated, elderly, partially blind. And he kept painting, not out of denial, but out of defiance. He said, "I shall never admit that painting is intended to serve any other purpose than to give pleasure." And yet, in that pleasure, he gave comfort. He painted peace while the world burned. His water lilies became a prayer, not for escape, but for something worth returning to. In 1918, at the end of the war, Monet offered his largest water lilies panels to the French state. They were installed in the Musée de l'Orangerie in Paris. He designed the space himself. Oval rooms, soft light, panoramic immersion. No frames, no walls, just water. Just lilies. Just you and light and silence. He called it his great decoration, and it was his gift to a grieving nation. A sanctuary of stillness, a vision of what peace could look like. Monet died in 1926, but his water lilies lived on. They influenced abstract expressionists like Mark Rothko and Jackson Pollock. They changed how we think about space in art. They showed that a subject could be formless, boundaryless, infinite. That beauty could be abstract. That meaning could be felt, not just seen. Today, we return to these paintings in times of crisis, not because they ignore pain, but because they hold it gently, like water holds light. Monet's water lilies are not just pretty flowers. They are his resistance to despair, his celebration of sensation, his love letter to vision itself. They are the last notes of a world about to vanish, a moment held before it slips away. And in that way, they are not about water. They are about memory, not about flowers, but about the act of seeing, of continuing to see. Even in darkness, even in grief, even when the world is dying, because as long as we can see beauty, we can remember it. And as long as we remember it, there is still something worth saving.